Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Angie.
And together, we are TwinFinity.
Wow, what was with the eyebrows? That was fun. I love it. Okay, well, we're starting off already laughing. This is going to be an interesting night. So, we are Twin Flames in union, and we are back to answer your questions. This is now our 6th question and answer. We do it once a month, so it kind of ties in with like the month we're in. So June, 6 months. So it's easy to remember.
And if you hear any crunching in the background, it's because we have a dog munching away on a bone. If we give her a bone, she stays entertained.
She doesn't have a squeaky toy tonight. Yay!
Yeah, no squeaky toys.
So once again, we have 3 pages of questions, so we may not get through all of them, but we'll do our best. So on that note, we should probably just dive in because we got a lot to go.
Okay.
Okay.
I read a few of the first ones, and the rest of them are all just going to be totally winged.
Rob likes to wing it. I like to
do.
read them all and kind of write my own little answers in there, and it's all good.
Yeah, we approach these completely differently, but that's because we're actually such different people from the way that we approach spirituality. It's really allows us to cover all the bases, because if one's lost, the other one can usually be somewhere near where they need to be.
Well, there you go.
First question. I had to have this explained to me. But I've heard others talk about the TF core wound. I would love to hear both of your thoughts on this. Do you buy into this? Do you have a core wound? Is it the same for both of you, or do you each have one? Thank you.
So, yeah, to be honest, I actually had to look it up, too, because I'm like, I mean, I know what a core wound is, but I'm like, do I really know what a core wound is? So, you know, I just had a quick reading, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes total sense. But I don't think I just have one. I had multiple. God, I had a lot of shit to work through. I had a lot of core wounds.
Bleep!
Are you bleeping me already?
I'm bleeping you already.
Oh, man, it's going to be a long night. So, did we even have the same ones? I wouldn't guess so. Like, I had abandonment, I had, oh God, I don't know. It'd be interesting to list them all. It might take me a while to list them all. I had a lot.
I'd say my biggest wound that I carry with me weekly, monthly, yearly, lifetimely is probably rejection. I don't like it when something goes wrong and people pound out of my life forever goodbye. It happens. I guess it's one of the things I need to learn in this life, but I try not to put myself in a situation where people want to just exit stage left and never come back.
So that's interesting. If yours is rejection and mine is abandonment, that's kind of the same thing.
In some respects, yes.
When people leave and don't come back. Okay.
Although
good to know.
There's a lot of people out there that have short-term abandonment, like they just don't like to be left alone, even though they know the person or whatever it is coming back sometime later.
But abandonment, like in a core wound, is when you're like afraid that people are going to leave and never come back. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that happens as part of life, with or without spiritual connections. People who are just happy, just existing on the planet the way that they are, just in what I call real life, 3D life, they go through that. But I would think that abandonment on a spiritual level would hurt more. So, yeah, like if you're really, really connected with someone, for example, well, you and me, yeah, that's one that I'd never want to even imagine how that would feel.
I'm not even going to get into that conversation because we're all be here all night about the whole death thing that we talk about.
Oh, yeah. I suppose I set Angie up for that. I'm a little bit older and my family doesn't live as long as hers, so I keep on saying, you're going to have a few years on your own once I finally kick the bucket.
And I'm like, no, there's New Earth. We're going to New Earth and nobody's dying. We get to live as long as we want. But that's a whole other conversation. We're not going to go there. Let's stay on topic.
Let's go.
So, did we answer all of that?
Did you have anything more you wanted to talk about?
I don't think so. Like, so just let's Do I buy into core wounds?
Yes. Yeah, core wounds can definitely affect a person lifelong, especially if they don't have a chance to really work their way through it.
And I think when we're children is when, of course, we develop our core wounds, and that's why they're called core, because they impact us at such a core level. You know, if we have some trauma that happens at such a deep age. In fact, here's another one of mine, trust, because of being sexually abused from the age of like 3 to 7. Of course, that breaks huge barriers of trust. So trust is still an issue for me, I'll be honest. I still work through it sometimes. So yeah, core wounds. They trigger you from the deepest core of your being, and sometimes lifetimes. It's not just this lifetime.
And this is another reason why I don't like to read ahead on the questions very much, is because things just come to me. As twin flames, it's almost like a long-term blessing that our soul split apart. It gives it a chance to experience two different realities and close to the same dimension. Two different sets of learnings before it has a chance to come back together. So for Angie and I to have been learning our own bits, it's like it's a double opportunity to learn. So I could easily imagine where two twin flames would have similar wounds to deal with. But to have identical wounds, I don't know if that would be I don't know if that would be of any great benefit.
No, and probably not, because you've had other experiences, you've lived other lives, and there's some questions about other lives and stuff, so we'll get into that more. But yeah, I mean, if you've lived different lives and had different experiences, you may have very different core wounds.
But then again, it also might be a little bit fun to have the same core wounds, but be in different environments to test or to experience how different environments would have an effect on the same damage.
True.
This conversation get really fun. We could just all of a sudden tangent off and go everywhere with this.
We have a book called 1,000 Questions for Couples, and sometimes when we're on long driving trips, we take that book and we'll just like ask questions and have these discussions. But now we have all of this. We can just do that with these questions.
Just keep on going. And,
totally.
Oh yeah, we were on a question. Okay. Next question. This is the question I didn't want to start out with.
Okay, let's go.
Now we're all warmed up.
Yeah. That was warming up.
Okay, I'll call that warming up.
Okay.
Have you ever sexually felt your twin while in separation, making love in 5D? Or have you ever felt wrapped up in a wave of divine love at night? I do, and I wonder if it will be as powerful as in 3D. That's a good question to stop at right there.
Okay.
You can go first if you wish.
Oh, okay. I was going to let you go first.
No, you can go first.
Okay. I've not felt the actual making love, either with him with somebody else or him with me. I know other twin flames do feel both. I've not felt either of those, but I have felt the hug, the kiss, the kind of like embrace, and much like you say about like, you know, the wrapped in love kind of thing as you're sleeping, very much have felt that. So yes, felt all of that. But like some people talk about astral sex, never experienced it, but it sounds really fun. I kind of would like to.
Here, I'll go on a trip somewhere. We'll give it a try.
I'm good.
Let's see if we can have a TF moment.
Yeah.
Boy, we're both full of adrenaline tonight.
Oh,
Sorry
man.
about this. There's not an ounce of seriousness in this, which is probably a good idea. Anyway. Felt wrapped up in a wave of divine love at night. That's a beautiful statement.
That is.
Because really, especially between members of the same soul group, if, you know, sometimes you let's say you're sitting around in an evening, maybe on your own, maybe not, but you can't get a person out of your mind, and it's just happy, gentle thoughts. And you write it off as, no, maybe just missing them for whatever reason. But really sometimes when it's really hard to let go of, yeah, I would completely say that I had felt that as we were starting to get back into
Mhm,
connection after
mhm.
being separated,
That's when I felt it too.
I was starting to feel that a fair bit where you would just be there for 5 or 10 or 15 minutes, just tickling on the edge of my conscious existence. Then all of a sudden, poof, you'd be gone.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be that anything happened to distract me. So
We were even consciously doing it as we were coming back into union. You would be at work, and I remember one day you were just like having a rough day and it was stressful. So I just like told you that I sent you a whole pile of energy, and you were like, I felt it. And
Yeah.
you said you felt it even before I text you to say I did it. And you're like, yeah, like, did you do that about 10 minutes ago? And I said, yeah. And you were like, I felt it. So yeah, it's cool. We, kind of played with it then too, of like actually consciously practicing. It's really fun. Okay, and there's another part to that too, right?
yeah, wondering if it will be as powerful in 3D. You know, I always appreciate any 5D connection a little bit more than the 3D ones. Although, hey, there's some fantastic 3D connections out
Yeah,
there.
we're not.
La la la, but still,
Don't make me blush so early in the whole video now.
Hey, you're the one that put that question first, and I moved it to second. Told you we
It's
had to
my
warm up.
fault now.
You are turning
It's
red.
my fault. Of course I am.
You're turning red.
It's the fireplace. It's June, and we have a fireplace on.
Oh,
Because you must have flames. We're talking about twin flames.
come down to a nice cool basement and turn the heat on when it's 80 degrees outside.
Yes. Okay.
Way,
Focus.
way better than minus 25 outside, like it was 4 months ago.
Yes, though I find too the 5D is it fair to say better? Maybe not better, but more intense love, more full. Maybe I don't really have the right word, but it's. I mean, the 3D is amazing too. It's not like it sucks or anything like that.
Because I don't spend a ton of time deep in 5D, anytime I do have a 5D connection, I just appreciate it so much as almost as a gift. That as much as 3D might be more immediate, more touchable, more tangible, a gift, however rare or however small, is still a gift and just as treasurable.
For sure. I'm just gonna move this so we can actually see how long we are, so we can pay it. Oh, and then I just ruined our whole love. It ruined us. Excuse me while I fix our
Technical
computer.
difficulties are temporary. Please do not adjust your set.
It takes me so long to get this set up just perfectly that the love is there and the picture above is not really in it, and then it's all centered, and I just messed it all up. But I fixed it. It's okay. Yes, a little OCD.
There was a part 2 to that question,
Okay.
although it's similar. Angie, you say we have a soul connection with karmic partners. Do you still have these connections with them in 5D, or is it completely gone now? I don't have any contact, 5D or 3D, with them. I'm just wondering if, when all the work is done, that there's nothing more to share.
I like that question.
I do too.
Okay, do you want to go first?
I kind of do want to go
I
first.
could just sense that. You go.
Most of the time when you have a
Nice
karmic
one.
partner, they've already been part of your soul group and they've agreed to do some learning along with you or to help you or you're to help them.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I would hope it's a little bit of synergy between two people.
Absolutely. It's both ways.
I also have a core belief. I'm going to call this a core belief. We talk about core wounds, there's core beliefs. And that is, once you have loved someone, you can never really completely turn it off, because that would almost be like invalidating your own ability to love. So you might be able to turn it off 96% or 98%, but do you ever completely 100% disregard love that you have for someone?
No.
I don't think so. So I don't even expect my love for other karmic partners to ever completely disappear. I would love to just appreciate them for who they were at that time in my life and cherish and be thankful for the times that we spent together and whatever was learned. That's me.
And I totally agree. Number one, because on a soul level, we're all connected. We're not just connected with our twin flame, we're connected with everybody. So on a soul level, we have a love, we have a bond with these other people that are in our lives, soulmates, karmic partners, whatever you want to call them. They're part of our soul family. So, and also ego thinks of love as limited, but the soul does not. There is an unlimited amount of love. It's just like, because you still love your other people, it doesn't mean you love me any less. It has nothing to do with our love. It just means you still love them, which is the same thing for me. So going back to the question though, yes, I still do, and I still can have a connection with both of our karmic partners in 5D if I choose to. I don't tend to go there a whole lot, only because it took a long time to really break the energy with mine, because he had a very hard time in 5D releasing us. But yes, I still feel him. I still think about him. I still send him love. I still honor his journey. I still wonder if he's happy. Very much so. Yeah.
I think we just answered that. That was really, really good. I honor all souls.
Yeah.
Next question.
Sure.
Question for Angie. Dear Angie, could you draw your angels? Do they really have wings? I hear some voices and have downloaded a light language. But, oh boy.
You probably can't read that through my notes.
Yeah. But I have never seen my guides, so I would love to have an idea of yours, and do they have names?
Okay, so that's a couple questions, so I'll answer them one at a time. Can I draw my angels? Well, really, really poorly, because I'm not much of an artist. I do stick figures. That's it. That's okay. What'd you hear? Big guard dog. You heard an angel. Do they have wings? Do they really have wings? It is my understanding that anything spirit, whether it's angels, guides, whoever, souls that have crossed over, don't actually even have a body. They don't have like a physical body like we have. They are simply an energy, and they're just an energy of love and light, which is why we see them often with a halo. It's not that they really have a halo, but that's what the image portrays, is that glow around them. But what they do is they come to us however we resonate with them. And because I resonate with angels as having wings and flying and, floating in the air, that's how mine appeared to me. Though I've seen many angels, and I had one, his name's Arthur, and he was very particular even on how he spells his name. He did not have wings at all. He was more like leprechaun type-ish. So they just show up however they show up to get their message across, and however you resonate with them. So I wouldn't worry so much about what they look like, because they'll appear however they wish to appear to you. Now, what was the other question? The light language.
There was a light language.
I hear voices and download light language. I don't understand a word of it, but I could talk like this for hours. Yes! I know a couple people that speak light language, and it just flows out of you. You're like, I don't even really have control of this. It's just sort of happening. It's language from spirit. Of course, in spirit, we don't talk with words so much. We talk with energy. So it's an energy coming through, and often light language, all the hand signals and symbols that are coming through are part of the language as well. And I don't know if any of you guys watch Kalina's videos, Kalina Malnar, but she speaks multiple different light languages. And how I understand them, I could be incorrect, but how I understand them is from different planets, different star systems, different solar systems, is that right? I don't know. I don't know all that stuff so well.
That'll do.
Okay. So there's different languages for different
regions.
Sure. Planets, star systems, all of that.
Pick a term.
Yeah. Because I don't have the right one. So yeah, if you're speaking it, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to speaking it. I don't yet, but I'm so excited when it happens because it's not something you can like force to happen. It just happens when it happens. And there was another piece to that too.
Do they have names? You mentioned one already.
Yes, mine gave me names, and as far as I understand, in spirit world, everybody has a name because it's an energy. Again, it's not so much about the name like we have here. It's more about the energy that you radiate from your name. So the first angel that I saw the night that you and I were together, and I experienced the whole like amazing experience. Her name is Sabrina. And then there's Arthur, and I have like a whole bunch of other ones, Hannah, and if you watched our story videos, when I was channeling angels and they were writing all through my journal, they had like group names too. There was all sorts of them. So yes, from what I understand, they do have names.
Okay.
Now that you get a question, look at that.
Well, that's a very short question. I hope I've got the time frame right. Was Rob receiving signs of union like Angie was? I don't know if it was signs of union or signs of reconnection. I suppose it was signs of union, but that's not what I was considering it.
No.
As we were coming back together, I was becoming more curious, especially once you told me that you had an explanation for our connection in the form of twin flames, and you knew you would have to educate me. But was I receiving signs of union? No, but I was receiving signs of the ability to understand our connection, and it wasn't until that connection was becoming more and more defined very quickly that it turned to thoughts of union.
So I think, like, a lot of people want to know, do the masculines get the songs? Do they get the numbers? Do they get the license plates of, like, I got a license plate that had your last name on it?
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
I got the songs.
Did you?
Yeah.
The train one.
Train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Drops of Jupiter. Wow.
It even talks about lattes in there, and I love my green tea lattes, so that's really funny. So you did get some signs, but I'm guessing not as many as some of us get, where we're just like bombarded. I mean, some people it's just nonstop, the signs. And
yeah. And I think
synchronicities.
And the signs might have been all the way around me, but because I wasn't looking for signs of union, I probably was not seeing signs of union.
Okay,
I was
that's fair.
being a little bit blind.
Yeah.
It's only the real strong ones that slap you up the side of the head
Yeah.
that you go, oh, yeah, wow, is that a coincidence or is that really a sign? And then you get one the next day, you go, oh, okay, yeah, well, that person's really on my mind. It's easier to look back and say, oh, yeah, okay, than it is to actually know it in the moment, especially if you're not trying to go there and not really wanting to believe it.
Yeah, you're not looking for it per se. One thing I will add, not that this really answers the question because they're talking about union, but when we broke up way back in '98, we were both getting the Amanda Marshall song, Trust Me, This Is Love. That one would just hit us over and over and over again. And it wasn't just me. He was getting it just as much. So yeah, you were hit with some of it too. All right.
Next question. This is more of a question for you or about you. Can you tell us more about what meditation work you did for 6 months?
Oh, yes.
I truly feel it activated Rob. Did you meditate daily? And for how long? Rob was clearly struck by some thunderbolt. Okay, I'd like to go into that first. Yeah. As we were coming back into union, I was feeling like I was standing in the middle of a big thunderstorm. Not a violent thunderstorm, but I was getting struck by thunderbolts and zapped all over the place. That was just about like the last question when you say, okay, hang on. There's lots to pay attention to here. Then all of a sudden, everything was just running over me like a truck or a thunderbolt.
That's because I was pounding him with energy.
Okay.
So, okay, first question. Tell us more what meditation work you did for 6 months. Okay, so first of all, yes, I did meditate daily. I actually meditated twice a day, which wasn't to do with Rob necessarily. It's just what I did and what I still do. I meditate morning and night. That's just what I do to cope with being, I shouldn't say cope, manage being highly sensitive. I need to clear my energy a lot.
Cope still works.
Okay. I don't like the word cope though, because it means you're like suffering from it. Whereas now I see being highly sensitive as a huge gift. It's a wonderful gift.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I wouldn't be a medium and a channel and intuitive without being highly sensitive. Uh-oh.
Okay. Okay.
No, you're all red.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You know you want to.
So what was the word that you didn't want to use? It was the word cope.
Cope.
What did you use instead?
I forget.
Manage.
What does that have to do with you being a manager?
She manages. I cope.
That's a good one.
Okay. Now I get to leave.
When I tell him, I'm way overstimulated, don't talk to me, I can't cope with anymore. Is that when you're coping?
Yeah, well.
Because you're a talker and you're like, it kills you to have to be quiet.
Yeah.
We'll be driving and I'm like, I can't have any noise for a while. And he, like, it kills him to be quiet for like 10 minutes.
All of a sudden, point off on the field trying to say there's deer out there.
And I'm like, shut up! I said be quiet! It's so funny. Okay, that's fair. I manage, you cope.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we're completely off topic.
I don't know.
Okay, so I meditated every day, twice a day. Now, first of all, I also want to kind of add to this in that please don't like go diving in and thinking, okay, if I meditate every day, twice a day, and I do all these things that she did, I'm going to get to union. I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it again. You know I can't go a video without saying it. How does it happen? Where does it happen? You say it for me. Within, yes. So I can give you I can write down step by step what I did, but it might not be your path because union isn't about a process and a step by step process. Union is about going within, because what I did was what I was guided to do in my meditations. I was guided to send you a ton of love. I was guided to see our chakras joined and healed, because his first telepathic experience with me was saying that he felt inadequate spiritually. I was guided to do a bunch of healing around that, whereas that might not be what you're guided to do at all, because your twin might not have that, we'll even say core wound, because he was still carrying that wound from a past life that we had had in Egypt. So just be aware that it's all about going in and doing your own work, connecting with your own soul and finding your own guidance. But to answer the question, yes, twice a day meditations. For how long? It totally depended. Sometimes it was 10 minutes, sometimes it was over an hour. I mean, if I was like super connecting with him in 5D, I'd lose track of time because it was so fun talking to him and having all this energy work happen.
From my perspective, I've just had another analogy hit my head.
Of course you did. That's what you do.
It seemed to me that I was doing a bunch of learning all on my own, and then Angie was doing meditation and sending me energy, and it was very much like doing up a zipper. You know, you've got the two pieces and you get them all hooked together, and all of a sudden you start to pull that zipper, and the work you're doing on your own from one side meshes with somebody else's energy from the other, and it just all blends together, and all of a sudden, zip, all of a sudden, it takes no effort at all to pull the zipper all the way up to the top.
That.
Yeah.
That's neat. So because you were ready and you were awakening as well, what I was doing and what you were doing were like zipping up.
Yeah. Zipping together.
That goes kind of against our unzip moments.
Yeah, but the unzip hug, you have to actually open up to let somebody in.
Just teasing you. So yes, for 6 months, I did a ton of work, and I'm not gonna lie, it was freaking hard. It was. Why was it hard? Number one, because I had to trust it was doing something. Because on the outside, I saw no results. All we talked about was license plates. And it was like, is this going anywhere? Am I doing anything? Is this making any difference?
I was going to ask that question. When you were piling energy into me, did you get any hints that it was actually going anywhere?
On 5D, yes, tons of stuff because the telepathic communication got bigger and bigger, and he would send me more messages. He would talk. He would tell me it was doing work and it was helping. Don't stop. I mean, you told me lots, and all those little crazy signs you would give me that we've read from my journals and stuff about the songs. I had to like trust that okay, I'm not crazy and this is real. Which I think there's another question. We'll get more into that. But yeah, it was a ton of work doing the energy work because it takes a lot of effort to trust that it's real, that you're actually doing something, even though you see nothing external. I mean, for 6 months, I got nothing, zero. I'm like, I don't know if this is working. And then all of a sudden, one day, poof. I'm like, okay, clearly this is working. So it's one of those things, though, you do it if you're guided. If you're going to just go do it and like shove your twin with a bunch of energy and they're not ready for it, it's not going to go anywhere. Yeah. I had to follow a lot of inner guidance. But you were worth all the work.
Aw, thank you.
I did it.
Yeah, I'm glad you did that too. That was a ton of work.
It was. I was exhausted for months afterwards. It was a lot of work. All right.
Next question.
Yeah.
Aha, a question with the word run in it. My TF continues to run from me even though he knows we will be together. That's interesting knowledge. I wonder how everybody knows that and yet they continue to run. That's a good question. It hurts. It brings rejection, abandonment.
Mm-hmm.
We've said that already.
We have so.
And negativity. Everything he dislikes. Why can't he just give it up and receive all the good things that can come from us? Now you had some notes all ready to go for that one.
Yeah, I actually replied to this person and I told them I would also add this to the question and answer because I think it's a question that would benefit a lot of people. So I'm debating if I should read my answer or if I should just kind of explain it again. But I might just read it because it just came out properly. If I kind of explain it, I might miss something.
I've just finished reading the first couple of sentences. I like it.
Okay.
I vote you read it.
I often channel when I write. And that's why so many of you, when, I reply to your questions and stuff, you'll be like, oh my God, that was exactly what I needed to hear. Well, often it's not me. I channel. So it just comes through whatever's supposed to come through. And then I read it after and go, well, that was pretty good. That wasn't me.
And sometimes she's got this look or feel about her as she's typing away. And I might be coming in with all sorts of neat things, and I see that look or feeling. I see that she's in the zone. I save it for later.
Yes.
It's
Which is why, just a little side note, tangent, I've often expressed to people that if you message me and I'm at work, and even though I have an awesome job that allows me free time to play on Facebook, if I'm on Facebook and I get private messages and stuff, I don't usually answer them while I'm at work because I can't channel very well when I'm at work because I got people coming in, I got phones ringing, and I'm distracted, right? So I wait until I'm at home when I got nothing going on other than the dog that wants some attention. And I give her a pat, and then I type, give her another pat. So anyway, this is what I said. I said, this is great. And she's probably already thinking, really? What's so great about this? And I said, I know it doesn't seem great at all, but let me explain. You see, our twin is such a gift to us in that they are us. They have come to us as the same energy in another body in order to help us clear out all of the gunk and emotions that need to go so we can be a vessel of nothing but pure love and light. And your twin, bless his soul, as yours, since his soul is your own soul, for doing his job so perfectly well. You see, when he triggers hurt, rejection, abandonment, negativity in you, it means he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. So yes, when your twin is triggering you, that's awesome because that's their job. That's why the whole mirror thing happens, right? They're mirroring back to you all the stuff that needs to come out. Because what we need to do is get all the crap out. Sorry, I'm whacking you as I'm like emphatically moving around here.
Mini bleep.
Whacking?
Crap.
Oh.
Bleep.
Now you get a real whack with that one. So it's all got to come out. We can't be the love and light that we are, that is our true essence, until we release all of that other stuff that's no longer serving us. The hurt, the pain, the rejection, the fear, the anxiety, the stress, the whatever. It's all got to come out. And that's your twin's job. That's why they poke you. Oh, you got an owie here. Let me hurt it more. That's their job. Get it out. So when they're doing that, celebrate. I know it sucks. I know. And you're like, God, why can't you just get it together, dude? Or dudess, whichever. Dudess.
Dudette.
Dudette?
Dudette.
I made a new word. So yes, if you're still being triggered, it means you still have healing to do. If they're doing all of this stuff and you're just like, whatever, then you know you're further along the path and you don't have as much healing to do. But if their actions are still causing you to be triggered, that's good. That means you're doing the healing. That means you're feeling it, you're releasing it, you're healing it. Celebrate. Oh, a big sigh. That's bad. That means a long dissertation's about to happen.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a long dissertation.
Okay.
My TF continues to run from me even though he knows we will be together. My favorite word, patience. Very closely followed by trust. But patience is one of my favorite words when it comes to the TF bond. It's best to wait till both of you are ready. He's still running, he's still probably trying to, first of all, catch up so that when they finally do get closer to union, that it isn't a huge, huge struggle to work your way through it at the final connections, which always do have their own struggles anyway. It's best to not have too many. It's best to work through and have some stuff put in its place before you get started into the final run into union. Patience. It's amazing here that he knows that we will be together. How many twins can't even approach their twin and let them know that they really are twin flames? This is just so encouraging, getting a question from two people that both know that they're twin flames.
Or at least they know they'll be together.
Or at least know that they'll be together, yeah. Like, this already sounds like it's down a good road already. So
that's true.
So this is what I was reading into it. I'm going, yeah, well, and then of course it does hurt that they're not ready to go into the final steps of getting into union because it already feels so close. So, patience. A little bit of patience. And don't burn them out if you're giving them lots of information. Keep it manageable.
And I would also say in regards to the whole runner part of it, there's more questions about runner chaser stuff, but I'm going to address this here too. Remember, again, we are mirrors. So if your twin is running, it can often mean that in your own way you're running. And it could just be that you're running from all the stuff they're triggering, that you don't want to face it. And that's why they're triggering it, because it needs to be faced. So I often guide people and go, okay, if your twin's doing something that you don't like, that's driving you nuts, if you can turn it around and go, why is this reflected to me? What can I get from this? Is it that I'm running? Is it that I'm afraid of union myself? I mean, there could be a whole pile of things, right? The mirror effect isn't always completely obvious, but it's always in our life for a reason. There is a blessing in it. You just sometimes have to dig for it. So if your twin's running, it obviously means there's a piece of you that's not quite ready and needing to do some more healing too.
Next question?
Yes.
Even though you were dating other people, did you always feel that pull towards each other?
You want to answer that first?
I'll go first.
Because I already wrote my answers. You already know what mine is.
I'm going to say on a very gentle level, yes. And how I kind of knew yes is I play a little game with myself where I memorize my friends' birthdays. And I'm one to also say, oh, 6 months to whoever's birthday. And Angie's birthday was right next door, one day away from my dad's birthday. So whenever I thought of my dad, I would think of Angie's birthday. But then again, I had another friend who was just one day the other side of my dad's birthday. And when I would think of Angie, her thoughts would dwell with me longer than when I thought of somebody else or whenever there is. Yeah.
That's nice.
I would often have the, I wonder what she's doing now. Like when we were in separation, I would think of her more when I think of somebody, I'd think of them for a few seconds and then move on. I would tend to think of Angie more.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, so
Aww.
yeah, did we always feel that pull towards each other? I think I wrote it off on a conscious level as just really having that deep respect from our first day together and our reverse sunset and the mountain trips that we had together that were so special. But at the same time, it's there for a purpose. Those memories and those thoughts are there. And yeah, I'm going to say that I always did feel a bit more of a pull towards thinking about Angie, curiosity about Angie than I did other people that I was even meeting more often.
Wow.
So, yes, I did feel it. It was very gentle, maybe just slightly more than subtle, but yeah, definitely.
So now what's very interesting is we have opposite answers than what I would expect the masculine and feminine to have. For me, I wrote no. There was years I went without thinking of you, I mean, it took me a freaking long time to get there. It took us, God, how many years to like finally move on from each other completely?
Well, yeah, it took us about what 4 years to really pry ourselves away from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was gradual, but still, nonetheless, it was accomplished.
After my fourth Rob, I just was like, I'm done with Robs, right? Rob's bye.
She got rid of all of us.
Yep, and that's why Wade jumped in there, and he's like, okay, it's my turn. Fine. So yeah, there was years when I moved away to a different province with Wade. I didn't really think of you at all. I'm very sorry to say that, but I just wrote you off and thought, okay, like whatever. My greatest love ever is gone. Move on.
Also, when we were just starting to get back into contact after separation, it's not uncommon for me to fall out of touch with people. And sometimes when I'm just getting back in touch with people, it's more of a, I don't want to use the word suspicion, but it's more of a, yeah, I wonder how long this will last this time. Where when we were starting to get back into contact, there was a twinge of excitement. Like, wow, yay, we're back in touch again. Yeah, that's awesome. So, yeah, there was a pull.
Well, you've just given all the feminines so much hope because so many of you I know are thinking, my twin doesn't care, he doesn't think of me, I'm never on his mind. Well, now you've heard from one that's not always the case. I was the one that was like, I went years with it, whatever. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You were always in my soul.
At least she didn't forget completely who I was.
No.
Rob, yeah.
Which number was that one? Number 3, 4, 2, I don't know. Well, there were so many of them.
Next question. Short question. Another short question.
Oh, goody.
You're going to have to answer that, except it's supposed to be for me. Since reuniting, has Rob done a quantum hypnosis session, or would he want to?
He hasn't even done a Reiki session, and I am trying. We're going to make this happen.
Very, very close. Looks like this weekend.
Yes, I keep telling him it's going to be a rainy weekend. We can't go out to the mountains, so let's do Reiki. I'm so excited to do Reiki on him, especially because, gosh, I don't know how many videos ago one of you asked if I've ever done Reiki with Rob, and now I'm like so excited to, because when I do Reiki, I don't just do Reiki. I'm a medium, I'm a channel, I am intuitive, so all this stuff comes through. And my sister-in-law was just visiting a couple weekends ago. I don't remember when it was now. And I offered to do Reiki with her to see if my brother, who has passed on, would come through. And he did, and it was amazing. So now I'm super excited to do Reiki with you and see if either of your parents come through. That would be awesome. I would love to connect with them, because I connect with them in meditation, but it would be so cool if they had messages for you. So he hasn't even done Reiki, but no, he hasn't done a quantum healing thing. But neither have I, actually. I would love to. Not that the question's for me, but I'm going to answer it anyway.
For me, it'll be steps at a time. Small steps. Little person steps at a time.
Oh boy.
So yeah, it's time for me to step towards meditation. Although when I'm walking up a mountain, I sometimes lose.
That's your meditation.
That is my style of meditation, but or at least the style that I'm aware of. I could possibly expand my scope a little bit, but one step at a time. And I'm totally ready to do the Reiki, by the way. I haven't said that to you, but it's time.
Yeah, it is.
It really is time.
Before we go to the next question, can I do a quick tangent? You talked about meditation, and I wanted to address this in the question where the person had asked, what did I do with Rob for 6 months, and did I meditate, and how did I meditate? I also wanted to be very clear that meditation can look very different for different people. My idea of meditation is I sit quietly in my meditation / Reiki room, and I just breathe. I don't listen to anything. I don't do like guided meditations. I just breathe, and I go inside myself, and I connect with my soul that way. Meditation, though, can be completely different. Like you said, for you, it's walking up a mountain.
Sure,
it's being out in nature.
I go for a hike and I'll lose a kilometer or two because I'm just gone. All of a sudden I'll come back to reality and I'll go, oh, I'm already at this trail junction. Hopefully I didn't miss too much while I was gone. Yet I look down, yeah, my feet brought me here.
Meditation can look all sorts of different ways. Basically, if I'm defining it, it might be completely different definition in the internet, but how I define meditation is simply connecting with your own inner being, whether you want to call that your soul, your higher self. That's why I always say go within, and that's what I mean is connecting inside of yourself. Stop the mind chatter, stop all the busyness. I mean, we're so distracted nowadays with signs and messages and noise, and everywhere you go, you're bombarded. It's getting quiet. So that can be sitting quietly, that can be walking in nature, that can be even doing dishes. That could be mopping a floor. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be petting your pet. Whatever resonates with you can be meditation, however you connect with your inner self. Amen.
Next question.
Yes.
Okay.
Got to get me off my soapbox.
Angie, how did you handle the fear of possibly not reuniting in physical union? Did you just deeply trust and believe?
Yes. Yes. And I love how this question's worded. How did you handle the fear? Because, of course, there was fear. There was fear. There was doubt. There was craziness. There was like, is this all BS? Is any of this real? Is he really talking to me? Am I just making up all this crap? Which I know...
Bleep.
Crap's okay.
Oh.
You stop bleeping me. So where was I?
Making up all this
crap. Weird. what the question was. Oh yeah, deeply trust. What I had to do was sometimes literally minute by minute, moment by moment, is pull myself back. When I would get into the doubts, the fear, the insecurity, the craziness, I'd have to just stop and go, wait a second, you're back here. Get back into balance. Get back into your center. And that's where it took a lot of effort. That's why I say it was 6 months of a lot of freaking work, because I had to constantly be conscious and be aware. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? What am I saying? Am I saying I don't believe this? Well, if I'm saying I don't believe it, then I'm going to create I'm not believing it. So it was constantly about focusing on what I did want rather than what I didn't want. And it took a lot of effort, a lot of mental effort to stay out of fear and stay in trust. And that's why I would write. I would like physically write out and manifest, which we've just read in a couple of our last story videos. I would actually manifest and create what I wanted and force myself to stay in that mentality rather than in the doubt mentality. It takes work until you become more practiced at being aware of your thoughts. It takes a lot of effort to consciously catch yourself and go, wait a second, I'm back in fear. Get out of fear. Go back into trust. A lot of work. At least it was for me. Hopefully it doesn't have to be for you. But yeah.
I have a slight answer to that question.
Okay.
As I became very quickly more aware of what Twin Flame Bond was all about, and it became apparent to me that I was starting to become very sure that we were going to take another run at being a couple, but with all this improved, new, balanced beings of our soul.
Mm-hmm.
I still had tons of fear that all the old stuff that had torn us apart from before would still be there lurking in the background, waiting to start to drive wedges between us again. Much like Angie said, I couldn't let it dominate my thoughts. Sometimes you just gotta blindly step forward, but positively step forward. Step forward with a little bit of that blind faith and trust, and accept challenges as they come along. And look at the challenge as, is this a terminal challenge, or is this just something else that needs to be either completely dealt with or just left on its own and just walked around and leave it behind? So yeah, I had some fears of my own once it became evident that union was possible again. It was just thinking, is it possible or probable? And I just had to let that go and let that flow till it became obvious that we were going to be trying to get together.
Excellent. I'm sorry, I was a little distracted while you were talking because I was trying to find this picture. I don't even know if you noticed where that's from.
Right over there.
Yeah! We actually have this on our... See how well I can do that? There.
Oh, yeah.
On our weight room or exercise room door. That used to be my office until Rob moved in. So, dream, believe, achieve. So that's what I had to constantly do, was keep my mental thoughts, my words, my actions into dreaming and believing about what I did want, not what I didn't want, in order to achieve it.
This all leads right into the next question, even though I bet you didn't think it would.
Okay.
Next question. My TF and I were trying to figure out a good way to pose this question, but I believe straight up and honest is the best. So here goes. Does anyone believe that possibly some darker energies of the universe could continually try and stop a TF couple from union, as it fears the immense power of healing and love energy the two have? I have not come across this subject on TF Talk. I like to take just a little bit of a step into it and then let you continue on, because I know you're chomping at the bit for this one.
Yeah, but I'm intrigued to know what you have to say.
See, I can tell, because sometimes, like, there's little notes, handwritten notes beside.
That's how I work. I'm a writer. What can I say?
This almost has that glint of evil versus good and what evil would do to stop good from being able to overcome evil. I don't like dabbling into that because I'm not much of a believer in evil.
Yes.
Evil to me is more like challenges. I could try to spin it as learning opportunities, except that would sound too much like my boss from a couple of jobs ago. Uh, okay, I'm sorry. I put her over the deep edge again.
Oh boy. Well, I'm dying to like ask more questions, but I'm like, nope, that's a tangent. Stay on topic.
Yeah. Dark energies. I don't know if dark energies are working against us or if they're trying to teach us something from within us. I don't subscribe to the outside forces standing in a person's way. If there's something dark, now I'm going to say it, it's within. It's not without.
Wow! Get on the within soapbox with me. Yay!
Well, I believe the within.
Yes, you do.
I leave that usually for you. So, yeah, this, as per the previous question, positive manifestation, thinking about where you really want to be, not really what's trying to be the anchors in your life. The challenges that are thrown at you, are they really meant to be dealt with, or or do you just need to learn how to balance and skate between them? No, I don't believe there's forces out there trying to fight love. I just don't really truly believe that there's just that amount of anti-love out there, that it's actually coordinated.
Awesome.
Creator might use something that would resemble that as a learning tool, but why would even Creator do that to themselves? I do not quite understand that. Maybe I'll learn something different in the future. Your turn.
I liked your answer. Good answer. I, much like Rob, do not believe in dark entities. I do believe there are
Dark Knights?
Dark Nights of the Soul?
Dark Nights of the Soul?
That's a whole different topic.
Yeah. Is it? Is it? Is it?
Well, maybe, but I don't want to go there. You can go there, but I'm going to answer the question then. You can go there if you wish.
No, I'll leave it alone because chances are it's further down the list of the questions anyway.
Might be.
Okay. I interrupted. I'm sorry.
I'm going to go back to who knew that this crazy little drawing of mine would come in so handy over several videos.
She brought the little drawing with her again. I knew somebody had said something somewhere in a question.
This was given to me in oddly a meditation, or I think actually no, it was in the middle of the night. I woke up in the middle of the night. I couldn't sleep and just poof.
Yeah, you had to go write stuff down.
Download it.
I'm
just going to show like the top part. So that all up there. This is how I understand how the universe works. All of that is creator, God, source. All that is love, however you want to put it. It's an energy. It's not a being. It's an energy. We all come from that. So we all come from that same energy of pure love. But when we come down here, we choose to experience all of it. The good, the bad, the up, the down, the hot, the cold, the in, the out. Our desire to do that is to experience who we are experientially. So we can't know that we're love unless we know that we're not love, or unless we experience that we're not love. We can't know that we're light unless we experience darkness. So my understanding is that there's no real dark entities. There are beings that have come here to choose to experience darkness and are living from that sort of paradigm. Thank you. You're really good.
I had no idea.
Telepathically, it just came to me. It wasn't my word, but it was perfect. So, I do believe there are beings, humans and others from other planets that are of lower vibration that live in an energy of darkness or fear, and they don't want the light. They don't want the love. So they do try to do whatever to make it so that we can't get together. But what I also know is they have no power. Love is the most powerful thing there is. Fear is nothing. All fear is false evidence appearing real. It's that's all it is.
Say that again, except use the whole letters. False
Evidence appearing real.
Real. F-E-A-R.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes. Or there's two other ones. There's face everything and rise. Or what's the other one? It's something, I can't remember what the F is, but something, everything, and run.
That almost sounded like something I should have bleeped.
Face everything and rise?
No, I can't remember what the F is. Sorry, folks.
We're not reading my journal right now.
Um,
Those words are just in my journal.
I had a big bike ride right before coming in, and I still think I got too much adrenaline.
We do our question
and
answers after he does a bike ride. Then we're all squirrely.
Or after a day, my staff buys me a coffee or something
God
like that.
help us.
Yeah, that's not the question and answer.
Thank God.
Sorry, I just tangented.
Yeah, back to the question. So, yes, long story short, I do not believe that entities of any kind have any power over us unless we give it to them. Some people say they've experienced dark. They've experienced aliens and evil beings. I have not. And I do believe that they can exist because we allow them to exist in our mind. Remember, we are creators. So what we allow, what we think about, we bring about. I choose to think about love and light. So I attract love and light into my life. That's my perspective.
The most terrifying thing in my life is spiders.
Yeah.
And I've even learned to deal with them a little bit.
Okay. We're not going to go there.
I can tell myself that. Okay. Oh, next question.
By the way, I'm just noticing we're at an hour and 2 minutes. So we should decide how many more we want to do, and because there's just no way we're going to get through them all. We're going to have to do a second video again.
Once a month doesn't appear to be enough.
No, it just is not, and we're sorry, but oh my lord, with doing a weekly video, that's a lot already.
And now that it's summertime, it's not at all a tantrum, but it is a truth that when it's summertime, I'm outside doing stuff.
Living life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hiking, riding a bike,
Going to
golfing,
find pretty waterfalls.
finding
like we
pretty.
did on Friday.
Oh.
So we want to do a video. Well, I want to do a video. He's going to have to just suffer through it because we're going to do a video sometime out in this new place we discovered. Wow. It's so beautiful. Yes.
Next question.
Yes.
Oh, I kind of like the next one too.
Oh.
I just glanced
Well,
down
you
at
know
it.
what? Maybe we'll do all three of these because you notice I put a line. Like they all kind of blend together. So maybe we'll finish those three.
Okay. Why does the DM find it hard to express his love to the DF? Especially when she wears her heart on her sleeve, and always has. But he runs / shuts her down. No answers given.
Just to clarify for some of you, I know, we get people that are all levels on this journey. So if you're not familiar with DM and DF, it stands for Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. Just to clarify that.
Yeah, there was a time I needed that answer.
Yes. It's all good. We're all learning. We're always learning too. It's not like we all know it all. Thank God for Google.
Why does DM find it hard to express his love to the DF?
Yeah.
Probably hasn't quite realized that what he really has is the need to respect his connection as love.
And could it also be that the masculine, until they embrace their feminine side and are more balanced, they live more in their head, where the feminine lives more in their heart? So the masculine is like thinking, they're not really feeling.
I'll call that a generalization because I'd love to jump to the defense that masculines aren't always the heady ones.
No, that's true.
But-
You're very good that way, but not all are. Just saying. Until they embrace their feminine side. You've embraced your feminine side a long time ago.
I'm just going to answer this from a 3D point of view. Generally, when guys finally give in and admit that they're in love, once they get past that point, then they can breathe and start to grow in and towards it. I think it's a lot harder for someone who is especially very stuck in their own 3D world to acknowledge a bond that's like, okay, let's just call it love in the 3D world is hard enough to express. Love in the 5D world, that's something huge. You actually have to understand what 5D really is before you could accept and express that love connection at a 5D level to a twin flame. So when all you have is 3D capabilities, you just can't really go there because you know that somebody is coming from a level that you can't really feel. So as much as they may love you, maybe fairly much to what I was expressing towards Angie way back when I was communicating that I felt inadequate through telepathy. Maybe they just don't feel that their love is adequate enough, so why bother expressing it and getting somebody's hopes way up too high when they feel inadequate?
Yeah.
I would almost feel like if they have expressed anything that is positive towards their TF, that they're probably afraid or not confident enough in their love being actually adequate. That would be very difficult. That would make things difficult to express. Inadequacy. It's not always just physical. I need less adrenaline.
Okay, so keep us on track. I'm going to answer that in the
you
5D realm now.
Okay.
If I may. How I tend to see it too is we reflect back to each other again because we're mirrors as twin flames. We reflect back to each other the imbalances. So when this person is saying they wear their heart on their sleeve, how I read that is they're reflecting almost, this is going to kind of come out wrong, but too much love. Not too much love, but love in an unbalanced way. It's almost like they're giving too much. That's how I interpret it. Maybe that's incorrect. But if you're wearing your heart on your sleeve, sometimes that means you're like expressing more than the masculine is ready for. And so then they're pulling back because they got to find that balance somehow. It's too much for where they're at. So they're like, whoa, I got to pull away.
It's almost like it's a little bit suspicious. I was out on Vancouver once, Vancouver Island, and we were going through a small town, obviously a little bit backwoodsy, and there was a lady who had a basket full of flower petals, and she was throwing the flower petals in the air, and I had two thoughts. I was thinking, wow, isn't that just beautiful that she just loves the world and where she's at so much? My second thought was, what is she on? Like it when a person gets that when something's almost too easy, you become suspicious of it. So if you're wearing your heart on your sleeve, like, here it is, just take it. It's like, why is this so easy? Hang on. What's the trap here? It's sometimes too forward, maybe, is the term I want to use. Even though it's genuine to the person who knows it's genuine, but it could actually be suspicious to someone who doesn't know that.
Yeah. So what's the next question that ties in with that? Or did we answer all of that? Oh, yeah.
Always runs or shuts her down, no answers given. Probably because there's no answer. Probably just fear.
Yeah.
Because it's too much. The answer's so lame that some people wouldn't want to say it, even though it could be exactly the answer. Hi, this connection is too much for me right now.
Mhm.
And they're probably so afraid of it they wouldn't want to acknowledge it by saying that answer. So it's probably easier to have no answer.
Yeah, they just
It's very possible to have no answer, just a feeling.
yeah.
Chances are the feeling would be fear. I'm just guessing. I don't know if I put a $5 bill on that, but I'd put two $1 bills.
Not even going. I'm not touching all your jokes today. I was also just going to add to that. Remember also, the feminine energy, usually we're talkers. We like to express ourselves, right? We go out with our girlfriends and we talk and we talk and we talk, and that's how we feel better. Masculines, when they're stressed or overwhelmed or got too much going on, they pull back. They go into, if you've ever read the Mars and Venus books, they go into their cave, right? So, yeah, if your masculine is feeling like, oh, this is too much, I can't cope with this, that's what they do. They pull back, they get quiet. Whereas us feminines are like, we talk, and then we feel better. It's just a different energy. So just let them be.
Had a chance to quickly scan the next two questions. And yes, all three of them were kind of related.
Mm-hmm.
I know this question is old, but I still want to hear your thoughts. In dealing with a runner who cuts off all contact, do you have any suggestions other than doing your inner work and waiting for the divine timing? I believe many TF get stuck at this phase and don't know how to move forward. Any thoughts are appreciated. Thanks and love. That was capital love, by the way. I like that.
Capital love.
Yes.
So do you want to answer that first or you want me to? I don't want to like dive in.
There's two kinds of cut off contact. There's cut off all contact where you cannot physically be in touch with that person at all. The phone number's changed, everything. Don't know where they live, hidden away, can't find them on Facebook. Okay, sorry. Can't stalk them by using any means whatsoever.
No social media stalking.
Okay. Then there's the other kind of no contact where it's been strongly requested that you have no contact with someone, but it is still possible. Either way, if you're trying to have contact with someone who doesn't want to be contacted with, it's always a little bit dangerous to the point that I don't feel I have the right to say, go ahead and be in touch with them anyway. My favorite one is happy birthday and wait another year. It's called leaving your foot in the door. So if someone's cut off contact by request and you do something very, very simple like happy birthday and then they come back with the hi, I said no contact, the end, well then I guess you kind of have to obey that. What do you do with that? Just have to do your inner work. I just did it twice in one night.
Yes, you did. Wow, we're trading roles again. I like it.
Keep trying, but keep also enjoying and experiencing life. I cannot condone pining away and losing your whole life, waiting for someone to possibly turn around. The more and more I see questions like this, the more and more I realize it's something I wrote out for myself not even a couple of years back, about a year back. It was levels of TF connection. And only the last 3 levels, and there was about 10 levels of them, actually involved permanent communication or union. The other ones were awareness, but just no real chance of being together. Of which I still consider levels that at least you're aware and you've had a chance to express to someone that you're TFs. That's pretty amazing all on its own. There's so many people out there that have no chance to do that because their TF isn't even in this dimension with them, let alone on the planet, in the same space literally as themselves, which is different separations of twin flame connectedness or even existiveness. Existiveness. There's my new word for the evening. So,
Oh, goodness.
if someone doesn't want to have contact with you at all, A, be thankful for what contact you had. Start there. Put that in your hip pocket. Do your meditative work and keep learning and enjoying in life. And I don't want to say lose all hope.
No.
I don't like losing hope. But at the same time, you sometimes have to be a little bit realistic too, that it may take years for a person to come around. I'm sure it's happened to many, many people, and someone's going to comment on this, where you say that happy birthday, and then you get that, hey, I told you don't be in contact with me, don't do it. So you give up, and 3 years later, or 4 years later, you get a happy birthday or a Merry Christmas or whatever back from them, right out of the blue.
Now, can I address the runner part? Because they were talking about the whole runner thing. So once again, because we're mirrors, if you have somebody who's running, I recommend that you look at your own life and go, how am I running? What am I running from? Oftentimes, the runner is reflecting to us that we're running from ourselves, and they're leaving us alone to almost force us to do the inner work. And I know this person did mention that. Do you have any other suggestions than doing the inner work? So obviously you're aware of that. You are doing the inner work. But I always like to look at my twin flame, and I still do this now. I mean, just because you get to union, it doesn't mean like your life is completely solved and perfect and wonderful. There's still stuff to work on. So when I have an issue and I'm thinking it's all him, I always go back to myself and go, what is this reflecting in me? What do I need to heal, grow, look at, fix, change, whatever? So again, to me, when your twin flame is running, it's always about looking back on your own self. What am I running from? What do I need to look at? What am I missing? I think that's a key part of it, because your twin flame is just you reflected back to you in a mirror as a wonderful gift to help you grow.
I might have.
That was for disapproval. That's usually my.
No, I had a thought, but I didn't really want to go there because it was a little bit more out of a psychology textbook than a feeling textbook. Maybe the next question will cause me to say it anyway.
Okay.
Next question, and it is kind of related to the other two.
Yeah.
This is a question. Yeah, this is a question I struggle with every day. My TF shuts me out completely and is even with someone else. We were best friends / lovers for 7 years and lived together for 5. Now it's as if I'm dead to him, and my heart is shattered to the point that I'm completely lost and wonder what is the point for going on, or of going on. Sorry for being a downer and just having a real difficult time the past week and a half.
A lot of that, just to not really answer the question, but about the part of the week and a half, a lot is that is the energies too. There's just so much going on with the new moon, and I don't even know what else. I've watched so many videos that it's hard to blend them all together. That's just another thing, just a little tangent here. Again, just because you get into union, it doesn't mean like you, at least I don't stop learning. I'm still watching videos and learning, and there's been a ton of people talking about the new moon and the energies of that, and June being like a huge month of massive amounts of shifting going on, and I'm seeing it in the people that are messaging me. So yeah, if you're experiencing a lot in the week and a half, just know it's probably a lot to do with the energies too.
I can't get that psychology textbook saying out of my head.
Well, then it's meant to be said.
I've got to throw this out here. I'm going to use the word smothered. When a person has been smothered with information and love and caringness and attention and expectations, maybe even, sometimes, especially if they haven't had a chance to properly prepare, for example, with us getting back together, I needed many years away to be able to come back to the energy of angels and the newfound twin flameism and be able to sort it and file it without losing my mind over it. It took me a long time to learn how to
You did a lot of growing while we were apart.
to work with all this and to grow with it, as opposed to being afraid of it and afraid. There's the fear again. So oftentimes I I I bet, and this time I bet 3 $1 bills on it, that a lot of runners have just been oversaturated and they're really worried about possibly even something just as simple as um, clinginess. There's another word, obsessiveness, because sure, it's no doubt as people learn more and more about the 5D, to those who aren't really connected with it, it looks completely like an obsession. Wow, that person's really off in their own world all the time and they're doing this and saying that, and wow, I hope they're having fun, but it's definitely not for me. But yet, as others have grown into that phase, they can celebrate these learnings and understandings along with someone if they're at the same level. If someone's been smothered to the point that they have just slammed the door and run away, it may be helpful as long as it's completely honest. This is where I'm grieving even saying this. I'm grieving what I'm saying because somebody is going to take this completely wrong.
Okay.
If you've smothered someone and then you've let them go properly within yourself and you move on and they see that you've reached a healthy balance either within your own world or with somebody else, karmic partner possibly, they may be less fearful to be in touch with you because they can see that there is balance within you when all they saw before was crazy whacked out. But that doesn't mean that you go out and you just put on a show of balance just to try to see if you can win them back. It's got to be honest. So this is where I come from when I say go ahead and live your life and enjoy your life, is keep striving for whatever balances you find, and possibly, as your twin has been learning, on their own without you, even though you think that they're completely stuck and have slammed you away and are never thinking of you again. If you've got minimal contact with them and once in every a while, I'll just say a while, just like the angels say soon, once in every while, they have a chance to see you being balanced, they may be less afraid to reestablish contact.
Yeah.
But to say it again, it's got to be honest. It can't be a put on show.
Yeah. No, because they'll read through that. They're reading your energy. They're not just reading your actions. You're connected, right? So
this is why I encourage moving on without completely giving up. Because the moving on and experiencing is not only good for you, if you've become more balanced with your portion of the TF soul, they may be able to feel that on their own as they've been doing growth on their own too.
Yes.
The hope really does come back from the 5D side.
It does.
It seldom comes back from the 3D. So this is why you need to keep growing as opposed to becoming stuck yourself.
The word I love that you kept using is balance, because that's the whole thing of how the mirror works between you. It will reflect whatever is out of balance so you can see what needs to be balanced. So if your person is running, they're showing you that there's an imbalance. When you're balanced within yourself and you're not running or you're not chasing, but you're just simply happy and stable within your own being, they will then reflect that back to you. if there's still that push-pull going on, that means there's imbalance. And I liked how this person also said, oh yes, now it's as if I'm feeling dead to him and my heart is shattered to the point that I'm completely lost and wondering what's the point of going on. So if you're feeling that low because somebody else has moved away from you, that's where your imbalance is. We need to be to the point where it doesn't matter who's in our life or who's out of our life. We are happy with ourselves for ourselves. You must get to that point of having union within, which means being happy within, being centered and stable with yourself, no matter if somebody's in your life or not. If you're that low without them, it means you've got some healing work to do. And that's not a bad thing. We all have healing work to do. It's just they're reflecting back to you the imbalance that's in you. And once you heal your imbalances, they will reflect less imbalance to you and be less running.
I'm just feeling a huge wave of empathy towards people who know that they're twin flames and that their twin has, for whatever reason, rejected them. That really has got to hurt.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, hey, we went through it and it hurt like hell. Go ahead, Whitney. Go ahead. It was horrible. I mean, we get it. It's brutal. But the nice thing is when you understand what's happening now, like we didn't have any of these information and these tools back then to understand it. It's so nice when you at least understand the higher realms of what's going on, because then you can know how to move forward in a better way. So you can take that pain and use it to your benefit and work through it rather than being stuck in it, because we don't need to stay stuck. It's about moving forward. So yeah, we're certainly not saying we don't have empathy. Oh my God, we've felt it, we've lived it. But there is a way through it.
And also another thing too, as much as it would still remind you of your connection that you don't have at this particular time, there's a lot of very positive videos out there that other people who are working with TFs have, and they understand that they're talking with twins, most of them that are not in union. But still, when you talk about hope and happiness too, there's also the thought that even if you're on your own as a TF, you still have all that light energy. As most, it seems to me that most twin flames also are in their own way a style of light worker too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. The realization has opened up enough doors that they're more than just a twin flame.
Mm-hmm.
They're twin flames with special abilities that they've been able to recognize on their own. That as light workers, you can also focus on that and understand that your twin could help you with other purposes more along the lines of light work. But really, you can still do that on your own too. It doesn't leave you purposeless to not have your twin. It may be very sad. It may be crushing. It may cause you to wonder why you would even bother continuing on doing any work whatsoever or even existing on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
But there still is some angles of worthwhileness and happiness that you can hang your hat on while you're waiting, hopefully, for your twin and yourself to be able to be in more contact.
Yeah. Very good points. So now I think we should wrap it up before.
Yeah, I
don't
think
even know how long we are now.
I don't want to know. Actually, this is not overtime for us. I'm not on a question and answer.
I try to be shorter, but it's not our.
No, you see 25 questions, you think, hey, no problem, we can knock this off in 27 minutes.
Well, some people say they just get the popcorn ready and they watch our video like a movie, so hopefully. But I try and be conscious of people's time, too, So.
Yeah.
On that note, let's stop babbling about time. I'm talking to myself.
It's an hour and a half, and as per normal, we got about halfway through the questions.
Yeah.
I'm going to commit to this. If we have another one of these. Well, and tonight wasn't a rainy night. It just happened to be that I got off work exceptionally early, and I could jam a bike ride and a video all together in one evening. This is a huge night of accomplishment. This feels great. Like this is what I call a great night. Being able to get a video and a bike ride in,
Yes.
awesome. So, if we've got a rainy night coming up and all plans have been washed out, maybe we should throw in a catch-up version of another question and answer night.
Yes.
I'd really like to do that because
We'll definitely answer the
Yeah.
rest of the questions. We just don't know when.
We-
But we definitely
we get to them. It's just that we always feel like we're 15 questions behind.
will.
Oh, guess what?
More that.
We're about 15 questions behind.
So on that note, we're going to say goodnight. We love you guys. We appreciate all of your questions and are happy to help and serve however we can. So we'll be back with more.
We will catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.